Welcome everyone to Game of Power. Today is episode 5. Wow, we've been doing this for 6 weeks now. I honestly can't thank you guys enough for, at least giving me this platform to talk. I think that there's been so many people on this show recently that have been giving us an insight on their life, things that they've learned, and that's just so powerful. So I'm so excited to be doing this. I'm so excited that we're in episode 5 already. And yeah, so today's episode we're gonna start with Isaac. Isaac is a artist. He is a musician. He runs Roaring Twenties, and I definitely just kind of want to tap his brain about what it's like making music, what the business of music is, and a little bit of an insight on the industry. And the second person is Lena. Lena is a YouTuber. She's a content creator. She just graduated from NYU. And so I'm so excited to just learn about kind of her mental journey over the last few years of making content, the mental side of her fitness journey, and just kind of learn as much as possible about how she got to where she is now. And so, I'm super excited to have them both on. And yeah, let's just get straight to it. Before we start today, I kind of wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on. So we're about halfway through the summer, and this summer, I had big goals for myself, big goals for Fitz, and everything that we wanted to accomplish. I think that, it's easy to be like, yo, this summer I'm gonna get to this, or this summer I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna live, the dreams that I always had. But I think one thing that I've learned this summer is like, be present and don't focus on the past and getting too caught up in that. Don't focus too deep on the future and living in the future and always thinking like that's gonna come easy. Like, just be present, have a good day, focus on what you have instead of what you don't have, and move from there. And so that's kind of been the biggest thing I learned this summer, just like be present. And so that's something that I've been consistently working on. Isaac, um, we have so much to learn from Isaac. So let's just get him in here. Yo.
Yo,
What's
how's it going,
going
man?
on, bro? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for hopping on the show, bro. I want to just get straight to it and learn from you with this time that we have.
Word,
Um,
word, word. Yeah, no problem.
so first, like, what you been up to? I see you're in a different country every day. Like, you're moving around, traveling. Like, what you been up to lately?
Yeah, so I just got back to LA, man. We just had a show in New York on Friday, um, at All Stars in Lower East Side. That was sick. And then before that, I was in Utah. Me and my boy Julian opened up for Jay Critch and Shorty Shorty.
Right, right. Congratulations on that. And bro, it's crazy because we met back in freshman year of NYU. And so I've seen obviously your growth as an artist over that time. But when did this all start? Take me back to the beginning. What got you into music? When did you start doing that? And like how did that all start?
Word. So yeah, I've been making music since like wrote my first songs when I was probably like 11. But I started playing, what's good, Yano? I started playing guitar and piano when I was around 8, and then was doing like covers of Michael Jackson, James Brown, Bruno Mars, like bunch of just soul shit. That was what I was really just loved doing and performing. And then I started writing, recording my own shit, and kind of just went from there. Now I'm just making whatever the fuck I feel like, whatever I'm enjoying.
That's fire, bro. That's fire, bro. So it seems like you started at such a young age, and you've been doing this for a little while now. So kind of give me a little game from, you know, looking at the industry as someone that wanted to get to a certain point till now, kind of having your footing down like finding your flow and finding your sound. Like, what have you learned over the last few years of just like, what would you tell that kid that just started out as a musician?
Yeah, as for I just first before I get into the details, like the overall is just like keep that constant motion and pressure. There's been times where like I just kept going just because like, oh, I guess I like might as well. But then I realized that like if I hadn't done that, like I wouldn't be where I'm at. Like if I like the fact that I just stayed consistent, even if it was a small thing, like just consistently like doing a show every single week, or just like consistently releasing that music, like keeping the people that are supporting me something, just giving them something to support consistently. So that has been really just a driving force that I didn't even realize or really appreciate until recently. Um, but yeah, like definitely the last two, like I said, I released my first song about 2 years ago, commercially, and then over the last 2 years, it's been like I guess starting in COVID, there was no shows, no bookings, nothing like that. So we decided to just start our own shit. I went to Washington Square Park before there was even any venues, and started performing. Like did that a couple of times. We're like, oh, this is cool. Then went back to LA for the summer, found some spots, and then basically copied and repeated the same process, but just built it up. And then when we went to New York in the fall, we met with you guys, did some more events, and then basically just been repeating, and then refining that process, and then doing it again and again. And now just expand not only just different places, different countries, different people involved, and just trying to just do better than what I did the time before.
Most definitely, most definitely. I love how you saw the vision and you have been consistent. And one thing I respect about you, bro, so much is that you're a hustler and like you've been pressing and like you perform all the time. Like you put out like you're consistently outreach and putting out content. I think that shit is huge, bro. So I wanted to just give you a shout out for that. Tell me, what's the process of making music, finding your sound, kind of starting in music? Like I definitely have heard differences in your music even over the last like recently compared to before, but like what's the process of making music, finding yourself as an artist in this industry?
Yeah, I mean, at first, cause I'm a instrumentalist. Like before anything, like with the production side, like it was me just trying to express a feeling, picking a feeling, and then putting the right pieces together production wise. Cause I during COVID, I was producing a lot, pretty much all of my stuff, that I was just practicing. And then when it came to releases, I would always often work with my friend Ed from New York. Shout out Ed. And then we work together to kind of make it even better, because that's another thing that I love in making music is collaboration. Like even when you guys came to the studio a couple of times, like I'm always like trying to cycle and get new ideas, because if I just sit alone with myself, all I'm gonna get is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like so I gotta change out the pieces, change out the building blocks that I'm using every time. But now it's kind of like I have to find the times to make music in between, like just the moving around. So anytime I'm just in a setting where like in the studio or whatever, what the immediate vibe, the first thing that I react to, that's what I go with, like those gut feelings. Like before, I used to spend a lot of time writing or composing what I was gonna do before I did it. Now I just act and then rearrange what I did later, because I like to get just the most natural, organic reactions and emotions.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I was always curious, like, do people do a lot of writing, come in prepared to the studio, like, okay, I'm about to go bust this out, or is it the vibe, you feel the vibe, and then you just go and press that head? It's a very interesting insight. Tell me this, after you make the song, I think one thing that I'm very interested in is like musicians are very different than everybody else because in a way they kind of market themselves and you're like marketing what you're doing. So like what do you do? Like how do you kind of go about that aspect of things after you put out music, like getting people to listen to your music or promo and stuff like that?
Right. So I guess the biggest thing about marketing is the preparation. Cause like if you have like people wanting or already knowing the lyrics to a song before it's even dropped, you already won. Like as soon as it releases, people are gonna be excited that they can hear the whole thing with no interruption. They're gonna be sharing it around, and that's how you have already your core fans, the people that already support you, doing marketing, doing work for you without you even having to ask. That's you're just presenting and having the experience, incorporate that for your audience. And then the second part is actually once it's out, once it's released, how do you get more people to hear it? And for me, that's just been over time utilizing the relationships that I've continued to build and grow with, and the people that are around me now have been around me for a minute, and now we're all just in a place where we can continue to just build off of what we started. Like I started doing my own marketing 2 years ago, and now I got more each time. Like I'm always looking for new ways, new methods, and so at this point, kind of everything that I need to get where I need to go. So that's been kind of nice to look back over the last couple of years and have that work pay off.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think another part of that is going and performing. And like that's
Right.
something that you've been doing so much recently. Before we kind of get into that, I'm curious, what is it like performing in different areas in terms of like performing in Berlin versus performing in New York versus performing in LA? Like, how has that been? Like, seeing new audiences. What's your mindset like when you come on stage and like you're in front of a new, fresh audience that maybe even might not even know you?
Yeah, like what I've started to do is really just think about, okay, what's the songs, what is the reactions that these moments are going to get? Because I'm now performing like a lot of the songs I performed in multiple countries or all around the world. So I've like I kind of know like, okay, this if I play this song, the crowd's gonna go crazy. If I play this song, the girls are gonna be engaged. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of now just have sort of the the little shortcuts that I know. Okay, I hit these points and then I make sure I adjust it each time. Like I'm always watching how a new crowd reacts or to like music that they haven't heard before. Like when I was in Germany, I played like some techno songs that I'd never ever like showed anybody in America, but it was like that's what they like out there, so it worked. Obviously New York, like I'm playing more drill stuff. LA, I'm playing the West Coast vibes, but I like to bring everything all together because that's like wherever I am, that's still a part of me. So it's been fun to kind of see how like putting music that people have never heard in their context, and then also like playing music that they love and that they know, but coming from someone that's not from that place, it's already in.
Okay. That's not interesting. And so it seems like you definitely do make a lot of different types of music. It seems like you push yourself in that aspect of things. I'm curious, like we always talk about the left hand on this show, and the way I refer to it is like in basketball, like you could be comfortable going right, and this could take you to the promised land. But on the left side of things, if you work on that left hand and your weaknesses, it could get you to even that next level. What is that for you? What are the things that you're trying to get better at, that's going to take you to that next level as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a sound that's unfamiliar, I'm gonna go towards it and then try to master it for myself, like for what that style sounds like when I do it. Not like what the best thing is, not trying to mimic that, but making what is like the highest level of myself in this area. So kind of it's weird. You kind of have to like change your perspective of who you are from like who's in that space. Like so, but that's something I've been really trying to train myself to do, so I can be seen in any space. Like I can be a hip hop artist from Los Angeles, but be in Berlin and play like an R&B song with all live instruments, or be in Prague and go up and improvise with a live band and still have them react the same way. So that's like I've had a couple like challenges like that. Like for example, when the first day we went to Prague, we were at this club. It's called the Dog Bar. There was a live band playing. Didn't know nobody. Had been to that country for the first time that day, and then but I seen that there was a band. I talked to the dude that seemed to be in charge. He's like, "Yo, can I play?" He's like, "Yeah, just jump on. Just tell him the chords." I was like, "All right, word." I play guitar and piano, so I know how to communicate that to those people, even if I don't speak the same language. I was like, "Play a G, play a G,
Yeah,
or and then just loop it." And then I was like freestyling and doing my own song with people that I just met. That moment had just told the chords in that little like moment in time. Um, so that's been like I've been having to do that in real life. So when I'm in the studio, it's just like, oh, of course, let me just try. Like I have the time. Let me just try something that's new.
that's fire, bro. And I definitely like how you said that because even like I guess my thoughts are like even with like the Drake album, it was a new sound for him, and like even at first, it's like you're kind of like, whoa, like what's he doing? Like I'm not expecting this from Drake, but as you listen to it, like as you keep going, like it really was something that it was some gems, and there's some gems in there. And I think it's good that you're saying I'm gonna do this because of me, and I'm gonna give you and kind of build this vibe around that. What do you like? I guess my question to you would be, how do you embrace that discomfort? How do you embrace like talk to me about or maybe for even some of the other artists embracing that struggle of trying to find that new sound and getting into a place where you're like, man, I'm a go hard and I'm gonna do something that I want to do and something that I want to curate.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like a balance of okay, I need to go into this new space, but also I need to feel like myself. So it's like first I need to just take the first step in not trying to do the same thing, and but then I follow just what immediately appeals to me. So it's like the combination of initial of like sort of a preparation, but with also just still being organic in the moment and just going with what your body and your soul and your emotions react to. Um,
Okay.
Kind of like a little bit of both.
That's fire, bro. That's fire, bro. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on the show. Is
Yeah,
there anything you wanted to shout out or promote? Anything coming up that you wanted to just mention real quick?
yeah. So me, Camilla's Garden, and Julian Rose, just released this Bleak on SoundCloud, exclusively on SoundCloud. It's going to be dropping on all platforms soon. It's called Wonderland, produced by Kenny Dreams and Ed from New York. So go check that out. I think the link's in my bio. I think we got to put it in maybe. But yeah, Wonderland by Roaring Twenties. That's out
Sounds
now.
good. Sounds good. Liking it, bro. All right. Well, I'm gonna see you soon. Thank you so much for hopping on the show. And like, yeah, just keep tapping in. Yes,
Peace,
sir.
man.
All right, man. Thank you. Whew. So now we will be having Lena join the show. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this conversation. So excited to learn from her. Thank you, Isaac, for hopping on the show. Isaac is an incredible artist that has really, I just have the utmost respect for his hustle and everything he's been doing. So I know he's going to go far with everything he's got going on. Excited for that. Okay, let's send this in here. And then, yeah. So, man, Maxwell with the good. Yo, Miles, I miss you, bro. We need you back. We need you back in New York. It's been okay, let's see if this works. We're having a little technical difficulties right now. All right, figure this out. Have a good time. Oh, okay. Hold on one sec. Let me just try send this again. So yeah, I think I'm so excited to talk to Lena right now because
Hello.
hi. How are you? Thank you so much for hopping on the show. How you doing?
Of course. I'm good. I'm kind of nervous. I have not done a live in so long. Wait, why is my face so big?
All good? All good. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I kind of just want to get straight to it. So, we're in the summer, and it was probably 4 years ago now where I was about to come to NYU, and I'm like, what's this experience gonna be like? And I stumble upon your video, spilling the tea from NYU, and I'm like, you were like the first person I ever seen making NYU content and kind of giving that game. Tell me this: you just graduated. You're finished your 4 years. What would you say to that young freshman from 4 years ago? Those new kids coming in the block right now. What do you want to say to them?
I would tell them that don't worry, you're gonna figure it out, and also don't try too hard to make friends. Because that's a mistake I made. I would care so much about what people thought, and I was like trying so hard to make friends, and I didn't make any. So it's like you have to just be yourself. You have to work hard in school, obviously, and the friends will come. So yeah.
Most definitely, most definitely. I definitely feel like it's so nervous, coming into college and like not knowing what to expect, especially new big city. What do you think, like kind of just reflecting on your 4 years at NYU, what did you learn most from going to college or like living in New York City?
Well, I definitely learned what it's like to be broke, okay, and navigating through that, and also just like finding confidence in myself, because I feel like, especially when you're a freshman in college, everything's new and you're still figuring it out. So I would say I learned a lot about myself and things that I like to do, and like YouTube, like that's something I figured out in college. So you learn a lot about yourself, and you learn how to like gain more confidence, and yeah.
The one thing that
Wait, can we just say hi to everybody? Hi.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey guys. Oh my God. Stop. I'm so nervous. This is like my first live in years, so I'm sorry if I'm being awkward.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Well, I'm happy you get a chance to talk and give them some inspiration today. So I watched your fitness transformation video, and I've seen you've been making videos over the last few years. And the one thing I wanted to talk about and ask you about is the mental side of it. So you talked about how the mental part of it is the most important. And especially me, like I've been going to the gym recently, and before I wasn't going because I'm like physically, like, I kind of look fine. Like I don't know what to do about that. But I realize now, like the only reason why I go to the gym now is to work on my mind and like get that taken care of in the beginning of the day. So I'm kind of curious to know, like, how has your growth and your transformation been mentally over the last 3 years in doing this fitness challenge?
That's a good question. First of all, shout out to you. I've been seeing your gym posts, Give yourself
Thank you. Trying, we
even.
trying, you know.
Definitely everything is mental because I feel like the physical stuff, when I stop focusing so much on it, when I'm like working out and like when I'm eating and stuff, I feel like I've seen so much more progress in myself when you're not thinking about the physical. So mentally, just even showing up for yourself every day and like pushing when you don't feel like, being at the gym and, pushing yourself for that last rep, that last set, and obviously holding yourself accountable, being consistent. Like those are all things that consistently make you work on your mental. So definitely like it's just brought me a lot of confidence in myself. Now I know that I can, set a goal for myself and actually reach it. And that's definitely brought me so much confidence and it like just transformed me mentally so much. And that translates to YouTube too, because I feel like if I did start working out, I wouldn't have the confidence to start a YouTube channel because I was like super just really awkward and also like I didn't have many friends and so I was coming from a kind of like a bad place when I started YouTube. So working out and YouTube kind of coincided and yeah, we grew it together somehow. So thanks to
That
my
is
subscribers.
that is so incredible. And I think one of the best parts about that is you went on both of those journeys together. And like
Yeah.
I think one thing that's very interesting is like we're always so taught to like we always see the destination. Oh, the 190,000 subscribers or like this lifestyle or we're always so like caught up after that that it's all about the process. And one thing I love about you is that you've shown like each step of the process. It feels like you even embrace that.
Right.
Kind of talk about that journey, like the journey of kind of finding yourself within, New York City in college and then mixing that with also kind of showing everybody an insight on that as well.
Right. So definitely like I said when I started college, I just felt really out of place. It was really hard for me to make friends. I feel like a lot of NYU kids, especially, when you first get to college, I didn't know about this, but apparently people join Facebook groups before you even start school.
I was plugged into that.
Nobody told me that. So I didn't get the memo told me. And so I was like, I'm going to make friends when I get there. So I get there. And then everybody already has their own friend group. Everybody's hanging out already. And I'm like, I'm just there. So um, that definitely taught me a lot. And that means that like you have to focus on yourself and the friends will come. And so also like at that time, I played basketball in high school. Basketball was my
Hmm.
life. And so after I tore my ACL and I started going to college without basketball, that was like a huge part of my identity that I lost. And so I was just coming to college in a very insecure place. And then, I was eating my feelings out because I didn't know how to I didn't know how to handle it. So I would just eat my feelings out. I remember like being in my dorm room and just, oh my God, like the meal plans, like the meal swipes.
Yeah.
I took advantage of that. I took advantage of that. I would eat a lot and I would eat a lot and I would just eat my feelings out. And so, that showed and like I gained some weight and I just other than the physical change, I was just like not in a good place mentally. And so I just like decided one day, I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And I don't want to not like looking at myself in the mirror. And I wanted to like do something with my life. So that's when I started working out. And that just completely changed my perspective on everything. And like working out is something that I always grew up with, but I never took so seriously. And as I started working out, I realized a lot of it is the mental part. So that just like completely changed my brain too. And it made me believe in myself way more. And so it was really, I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard at first because when you don't like what you see and then you have to post, it's not like you don't feel good. But something that helped was when I first started YouTube, nobody was watching because nobody knew that I had a YouTube channel. So it was like me and my burner account and like my mom occasionally. So in the beginning, not having that many subscribers honestly helped because it felt like I was only talking to myself. So then after a while, I feel like when you're just real on YouTube, people see that. And also a lot of people relate and like working out and being consistent is not easy. So other people see that too, that I'm just like a regular girl and I don't have like crazy Kylie Jenner body and we're all just, trying to work for ourselves. So I think that people see that and they relate and yeah, so I started documenting that and then when it started gaining traction, like yeah, I feel like I still am not at like a blow up stage, but I feel like my 190,000 subscribers feels like a million to me because there's they show up. Like, look, they're showing up. Like, they show
I
effort.
know.
Like every video, they're hyping you up. Even if in a video, if I feel like fat or bloated that day, they're like commenting, "You look so good," you know. So it's just like it changed me a lot. Even just being more positive, like a happier, positive person. And yeah, and you just gotta spread that good energy.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So tell me this, like for me and other people that want to start getting into YouTube, what's your process like behind making YouTube videos, from kind of idea to when you actually post the video? What's
Mhm.
kind of take me in the inside of like what you're thinking about, what you're doing to make your videos.
So definitely, I don't have like it. I probably should have more of like a business strategy with it, but more so, I noticed that the more growth I get is just from the videos that I am just genuine about and genuinely care about. So, well, most of my videos are vlogs, so it's just like me literally like talking to a camera, woo, and like living my life. So it's not that hard, but there is like a whole process with editing. Like editing takes forever, you know, and I know a lot of YouTubers kind of outsource that, but for me personally, like that's like a part of YouTube that I love. Like editing every single part of it is something that I love, but it does take a really long time. So you have to allocate time to, you know, vlogging, how long it takes you to like make your videos, and then allocate time to editing, which is like for me personally, it's like 6 to 8 hours depending on the video. And also subscribers, they're the best. They like give you suggestions like, oh, can you do this, can you do that? And so you never really run out of ideas. But I would say in terms of strategy, you do want to do growth videos, so like maybe one growth video and then I do like two vlogs, if that makes sense. Like a growth video
Okay.
that's a video that's like trending, or a video that might bring in like new subscribers, and then vlogs, because vlogs, like, at the end of the day, if people don't know who you are, they're not going to click on a vlog of you like watering your plant and walking around New York City. You know what I mean? So it has
Yeah.
have to do a lot of growth videos too, like a good mix of both. And strategy, honestly, if you're just yourself and you're just a genuine person, people see that on camera. So just always, you know, being consistent, and also, oh, a big thing is replying to comments, like replying to,
Okay.
yeah, and because you know it feels really one-sided. And when I like didn't have friends and I didn't have a YouTube channel, I was watching other people on YouTube, and sometimes I would comment, and you know, like they most of the time they wouldn't comment back, so I'd be like, oh my god, sad boy, you know, like why aren't they commenting back? There was one time where a YouTuber commented back to me, and I was like, I was sweating, I was like screaming, you know, and it makes their day, and it makes them feel seen, and also like they're taking the time to watch your face for 10-15 minutes. Like the least you could do is, you know, shoot them a comment back. So I feel like that's really important. Engaging and stuff is super important.
That's amazing. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I think it's amazing to see how you are with your YouTube community, like how they're your friends, they're your people. Like these are the people that have seen you grow over the last, and like you guys done it together. And I think that that's so incredible to hear. So what's now? Like, what have you been doing? What's your routine like nowadays? What are you working on? Yeah, what's been there?
Well, so I graduated, right? So, and actually, I just
Congrats.
on my first time. So I just moved to this apartment. Woo! Shout out to my subscribers because you're the reason why I'm living in this apartment right now. So I mean, I just moved in like almost 2 months ago now, and it's been great living alone. It's my first time living alone ever, so I've just been like adjusting to that. And I mean, I'm doing YouTube full time now, and I wake up every day just excited about like what I do, and just like excited to talk to my subscribers. I talk to them every single day. Like there's not a day that goes. I talk to them more than my mom probably, which I should probably that. But I talk to them all the time, and so I mean, I'm actually really busy. It's surprising because when I first pulled the plug and decided to do YouTube, because I was doing an internship before, um, I knew it deep down I really wanted to do YouTube, but actually like doing it and going for it and telling my Asian parents about it, it was really scary, you know, like I was really scared. But so far, like I've been receiving nothing but love, especially from my subscribers. So it's been great. Like I've just been trying to come up with new video ideas. I've been posting every week. I haven't posted this past week, but it's
Cool, sweet.
schedule for real. But you know, I'm trying, and yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you so much. It's been amazing kind of learning about you and learning about what you've been doing. tell me this. What is something that you want to get better at? What's something you want to improve on? What's something that you want to learn, maybe that you haven't been doing recently?
Well, what I just mentioned, I'm actually not on like a strict YouTube schedule, so I don't
Okay.
post like on a certain day at a certain time during the week. So I kind of just like drop it and I'm like, yo, come watch, you know? So I want to actually get on a consistent posting schedule and post like 1 to 2 times a week. Because for me, I really care about like the quality of my video. So I was gonna post a video this past week, but I didn't like it. So I like wanted to refilm it. And so I want to be better at scheduling and also like posting at a certain time so people show up at that time. That's also really important for strategy too, because if you're posting at any time of the day, like 4 a.m. on like a Sunday, nobody's watching it, you know? So I want to get better at being consistent and also um, finding maybe another way to engage more. So I've been trying to do TikTok. I haven't figured it out fully yet, but I want it to be more extension of YouTube. Because dude, like TikTok is
It's
hard.
hard.
It's
It's hard.
hard. And also like when my entire For You page is like girls dancing like this and stuff, I'm like, what, how do I fit in here? Like I can't do that. So I've been trying to figure it out. I want to do like more TikTok content like my YouTube, so maybe like more mini vlogs and stuff and more workout content. But yeah, so
Well, wow. That is, I'm so excited to keep tapping in and keep kind of seeing your growth. It's been amazing over the last few years. So I just wanted to say that super inspired by you. I love everything that you're doing. And, I'm excited to just see you keep going.
we first met when
Keep-
you were a freshman at
I
NY.
know. My
Yeah.
first day, moving day,
Oh,
literally.
first name-
Moving day. I was like, oh my God, that's the girl from YouTube. I was like, that's the girl from
He
YouTube. I
seen me.
gotta say,
You seen me when I had like what? I had maybe like 5,000 subscribers. I was like, I made it. 5,000 subscribers. I was like, I made it in life. I was confident. I'm good.
No, it's definitely incredible, and I love all the positivity and the inspiration that you bring to everyone. I think that we all really appreciate it. I hope like every little thing that you do. If you don't think like whenever you don't think certain things are hitting or like whatever, as long as you're giving that message that you needed that day, I
Mhm.
think that we all just really 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 appreciate that. And so
Oh,
I'm excited to just keep learning more about you, keep seeing your content, and see where you could take this. Oh,
thank you
thank you
so
so much for being on the show.
much fun.
Hopefully we could do this again sometimes. But thank you so much. We will see you soon and just keep going. Keep being consistent, keep inspiring us, and
Yes,
let's just keep it up.
yes, you too. I'm a huge fan of
Appreciate
you. I'm always hyping you up. I'm always
you.
always supporting.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. Wow. That was incredible. That was incredible. I think that, one thing that I respect so much about her is like I just said, I always wanted to be a YouTuber as well. And we often always see the results and we always see, the person that has this with this many subscribers, but she really kind of embraced the journey. And it's just so incredible to watch. And I feel like we can take what she did with her journey on fitness and YouTube, and we can apply that to everything else that we're doing. One thing that I was reading this book, Principles by Ray Dalio, recently, and it says that our two biggest barriers are our ego and our blind spots, right? And so one thing about me that I wanted to change is like not having everything figured out, right? There's like as an entrepreneur, it's like you want to be someone that's like, oh, this is how you make 10,000 a month, or this is how get this much money or whatever. And we often don't kind of talk about the ins and outs and the process behind that. And so one thing that I'm trying to do a lot better is what she did and building in public, showing people that journey, showing people the process, and kind of let's grow together instead of being like, yo, this is what I know, this is how I figured it out, blah blah blah, because we really don't have everything figured out. And so I think kind of ego is the biggest part of that, because if you strip down your ego, you can think, man, like maybe I won't be, I'll be more comfortable being like, yo, I actually don't know this. Like, I'm trying to learn about this. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that is just such a big thing. And so I'm definitely trying to get better and work on that as well. Let's see who else is in here. See what else we could do before the end of the show. Yo, Miles, I'm about to invite you in. Come say what's up. Come say what's up. Come say what's up. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, I see Free Road just joined too. I want to ask him about some of those books he was reading. Um, yo,
What's up, brother?
what's going on? How you doing?
What's up? Chilling, I'm chilling. My fault. Let me get some more light in this joint. What's up, everybody?
Thank you for tapping in, bro. So tell me this: what have you learned today over the course of this episode, listening to Isaac and listening to Lena?
Well, I mean, man, you really tapped into my NYU idols for real, both of them. Like I feel really close to those people. Like Lena was one of the first people we saw at NYU. I remember when you said, "Yo, that was the girl seen on YouTube." I'd watched her YouTube videos just because I was trying to learn more about NYU, and is NYU All Star. So, that's my man's, and just the events that we've been to, held with him, and just to seeing the growth process, like it's amazing. Like I feel like this episode, a lot of it was just about growth, being there from the beginning, supporting your friends, you know what I'm saying, making sure everybody is working on your weaknesses, and it's really shown, it's really shown so much. Even we're on the 5th episode now, bro. I
I
remember when you
know.
me with the, before this even started, like that's just clear, clear signs of growth. So it's all about being consistent, like we've been saying throughout the whole episode, just learning from each other, supporting each other, showing love, and growing together.
No, most definitely. Because, like, one thing that we don't realize is, like, there's a start place to everything. And even for me, like, coming on live and, like, doing this show, like, I was terrified to do it. I remember sitting there and sitting next to you and being like, yo, Miles, like, honestly, like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, I'm scared. Like, I'm not, like, I'm terrified of doing this. Like, I feel uncomfortable. Like, what if no one watches? Like it definitely at first, and you were like, bro, like don't be a bitch. Like, come on, just do it. This is
Right,
what you
right.
wanted to do. Like, this is what you're gonna do. And so I definitely think that like consistency is the most important thing. Even like doing things when you don't want to do it necessarily, like forcing yourself to choose that better life. You know what I mean? Choose
Absolutely.
what's better for you. I definitely think like that's something that even now when I'm like feeling a little uncomfortable about doing this, maybe a little sweaty, but like going and just being like, I'm gonna go do this show, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn want into will.
I think it's crazy just seeing how so many ways that your brain could come up with ways not to do something, come up with ways that you're scared when the only real solution is to do it, like that's the only real answer to all your questions is to just go out there and do something. You can sit and just make excuses about all really the bullshit in the world, and just by y'all, y'all inspire me. I've been reading the 5 a.m. Club and stuff, so I have like sticky notes like everywhere in my rooms and stuff now. And like the first rule, it says like excuses breed no genius. Like how are you gonna get better at something if you never do it? And like we always talk about, the barrier of entry into anything you want to do is really little, especially with today and age. Like if you really want to learn anything, go on masterclass. Like that's something that I started doing. You mentioned that, and my dad came to me the other day. It was like, yo, I have the login. You go watch whatever you want. So I just tapped in whatever I want. So just you can really just do anything. You just got to get there and actually put some effort into it. You just put some activity into it.
Most definitely. Tell me this, like you've been reading that book, The 5 a.m. Club. There's a book obviously that changed my life, and you've seen it firsthand. Like you see me get that book. We live together. You see me read it and be like, man, I'm about to stop doing. I'm about to break everything I ever known about life down
Right.
and just completely overhaul my life and change it. What has like? How are you feeling? Like, what is your process? Like, where are you at mentally?
Well,
Being
I
part
mean,
of this journey.
yeah, I mean, first, like it all starts out like before I started reading the book. When you were reading the book, and after you stopped reading the book, I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because like all the processes and stuff, it really makes you. If you're looking at it from the outside, you know what I'm saying? It makes people seem crazy, but that's really the whole point of the book. It's what 95% of people aren't doing, you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So like that's really the whole kill about it. And all the practices and stuff is really like natural. You know what I'm saying? It really is like just natural things. It all makes sense. It's a story, you know what I'm saying? It's not just sitting here and saying to be the best entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? You have to wake up at 5 and you have to do this, this, and this. It's really not about that at all. It's just about, okay, if you want to get better in life and you are questioning how to get better in life, try this one thing. And doing this one thing, using this method, you know what I'm saying? You will see ways to get better in life. You know what I'm saying? And the ways look different for everybody.
1,000%.
Right.
It's not read this book and wake up at 5 a.m. It
Right.
shows you what adding a morning routine to your life can do for you. So like right now, you wake up and a lot of people immediately grab their phone, and like
Mm-hmm.
if you immediately grab your phone, go on Instagram, you start scrolling, you're kind of worried about what other people are doing before you get to take care of yourself. And
Right.
so the whole 20-20-20 formula and move, reflect, and grow, that that formula right there has been the biggest catalyst in my entire life, because it's not about waking up at 5. I actually wake up a little bit later, 5:45,
Right.
6, whatever. But it's about taking care of yourself before you take care of anything or anyone else. And like that routine alone, I can't be more thankful.
Yeah, it's
It's,
like taking, it's really giving you a time to, because nothing else in the world, or all the noise is kind of shut down at 5, and your body knows that everybody else is kind of asleep at 5. It really teaches you how to listen to yourself. And when you listen to yourself, you listen to your emotions, you listen to your health, mindset, heart set, health set, soul set, all that stuff. So like, like, bro, I got these gyms down. Don't play with me. But like, nah, like I like here, like I have, I got all my sticky notes. Man.
yeah.
I'm looking like Maxwell out here. But just in doing so, like I've, and we've talked about it so much, about learning to listen to yourself and figuring out what you want, because that's the only real way to happiness, and you can affect a lot of other people when you're happy. And that's kind of one of the biggest things that I realized. If you are a good person and you want to do good things, then if you are happy, you're probably making other people happy. So that's something, that's a reason why I got up, at 5 a.m. I wanted to get up at 5 a.m. to show everybody else in my house that they should get up at 5 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So that they should get up and be better, the next day. And it's really kicked off like in the span of like 2 weeks.
It's crazy. Because like the one part of the book, and I don't know if they mention this that much, but they say like when you do it, like one of the best things you can do is give somebody else the book.
Right.
And
I
like,
want to finish it so I can give somebody else,
bro, like, and and I think it's like you once you see this life, once you see this way, it's like how like I wanted to spread this wealth, to spread this knowledge to everybody else. I guess my last question for you would be,
Mm.
what's next? Like, what do you think is next? Like, now that you're about to close that book, you're about to move on to the rest of your life. I will say this, like they say, all change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and glorious at the end. I will tell you that when it comes to this process of deconstruction, you have to use the first 20 days to break everything down, right?
Yeah,
Your
absolutely.
next 20 days is going to be the hardest one. And this is where I even kind of got caught up in the school year last summer and messed it up for a while. So like the next
Mhm.
20 days will be kind of the hardest ones in ever. And then after that, it's going to be glorious at the end. But tell me, like, what, now that you've taken this book, now that you've seen a little more of an insight on yourself, what's next?
Well, honestly, like even before kind of thinking about, like what am I gonna do next, and everything, because like you even said earlier in this live stream, thinking about the future too much, it allows my brain to make so many excuses as to why I may not get there, why I may not do whatever, whatever, whatever. But what's next for me is realizing how far I've already come, if that makes sense. Like I tatted beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success on my arm, and I realize I still didn't fully know what that meant. You know, I thought I had an idea and it really changed. And even reading this book, that's what the whole book is about. And, you know, how, you know, you talk about power struggle and everything like that. Like, I realized, you know, the real beauty is I should never stop struggling. You know what I'm saying? So what's next for me isn't getting out of the trenches, you know what I'm saying? But like kind of, you know, jumping out of one trench into the next trench, like because you fall in love with the trenches, you know what I'm saying? So like
Most
that's what's next
definitely.
for me. What's next for me is kind of conquering and feeling once I feel confident, once I feel comfortable in what I'm trying to learn now and what I'm doing now, like, all right, time to go and be a beginner in the next thing. I realize I like being a beginner. You know, I
Most
like
definitely.
learning. You know what I'm saying? I love you know learning from other people. So what's next for me is you know continuing and being consistent. That's what's next. You know what I'm saying? What's next for me is just learning from myself. There's so much I can learn from myself. And what we're 20, you know, 21, about to be 21 years old. You know, happy early birthday to you, Brody. But like, and we still don't fully know ourselves. Isn't
Yeah,
that crazy? Like I wake up with myself every day. I go to sleep every day, and I still don't fully know myself. So like that's what's next to me is just learning more and more each day, growing 1% more each day. You know what I'm saying? If you do that, you're getting 365% better at the end of the year. Like you know,
most
so
definitely.
those gems like and reading one book, you know, there's like 5, 10 gems I can go spit to people, and they'll think I'm smart as shit.
Isn't it weird? Is it weird seeing my underlines everywhere? Like I know, like you're, because it feels like a little personal. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this dude is getting like an insight on how I view the book or like what I'm thinking.
It reminds me of that conversation we had about Ender's Game. You know what I'm saying? And like the stuff that we, you know, like we take away, especially you know, like living with each other, being you know so close and stuff, like can still be like so different, and that's you know like not a bad thing at all. But like you know, like there's underlines in here, and I'm like, oh, there's no underlines on that gem. You know what I'm saying? Like I may be the underline, you know, so I'll go ahead and write that down. You know what I'm saying and stuff like that. Like it's crazy how we both, you know, we both pick and choose, you know, things that really hit in our hearts, you know, really hit in our brains and stuff. Like, so it's super interesting. I see like Shane's underlined, you know, I could tell what Shane's in there. Like he's lifting. I know that's something going through his brain. You know what I'm saying? Like all that shit is like so crazy. Like I just want to see what the next person feels about the book and what they're gonna say to me. You know what
No, for
they
real.
like what goes on. So like I said, bro, like just continuing to get better, you know, changing up your environment, you know what I'm saying? Like not being comfortable, you know, like all of that stuff. All of that stuff. We live
Most
in a
definitely.
crazy place. We live in, you know, we lived in New York. That's like the craziest place on earth. And yet there's still so much we can learn every day, you know. So yeah.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, man, I appreciate you for hopping on the show. I appreciate you for dropping the gems. I'm excited for you to come back. You know what I mean? And bro, like, you know, whenever you get back, like we're on at 5 a.m. Like we're there. So like I don't want to hear nothing. I don't
No,
want to hear nothing.
I'm there. You talking
We in
about
the gym. We in
5:30?
the gym. Five. We in the
So what's up? So
All
what?
right, look, I mean, I'm gonna start waking up 4:45. Then what's
Oh,
going on?
all
We
right.
we in the gym. We in
And
the
I
gym.
know
5 o'clock.
any ops are not gonna be up with us. You know, that's one thing I know for sure. So
Most
absolutely, bro.
definitely.
Or no ops are
Yeah.
working as hard. So,
Any questions before you head up?
bro, what's next? You know what I'm saying? I see you getting, you know, all these new people on, expanding your range, expanding your reach. Like, what's next for the show, bro? Like,
Whew.
we continuing, you know, we continuing on Sunday. It's about to be episode 6. You hit
Yeah, dude.
mad people viewing today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see the viewers bumping up. Like, I see the stuff
Yeah.
continuing. Like, what's next for you, bro?
Episode 6, man. It's crazy because it's like 6 weeks. You know what I
Six
mean?
weeks.
And so like I just can't wait to be at the time where I'm like I've been doing this for like 4 years. You know what I mean? And like, I think that what's next for me is just to keep having powerful conversations. I think that like one thing that I love doing now, like you said, is like learning from other people. And so I'm actively trying to find people that I'm trying to learn something from and get them onto the show. And so I think just that vibe alone of if I'm sitting here and like if I'm having fun and learning, then that is what I need to take into the show. And so
Right.
like I think like when it comes to whether it's in the show or outside the show, every single person that you meet, you have the ability to learn something from. Everyone has something. You just kind of dig and take that magnifying glass or peel back a few pages, and then
Right.
you can kind of find what you can learn from them, because everybody has such unique and interesting stories. And so I just want to keep bringing on more people, keep learning from more people. I think that, I hope that this is a place where we can kind of inspire and teach people a little bit of more about ourselves. And so, yeah, that's what's kind of next.
Sure.
Just keep
Well,
keep learning from people, keep growing, keep putting out more episodes as much as I can, even though, 5 minutes before the show, I might be like, damn, I don't want to do this today. Just doing that episode and having fun is definitely something I want to keep going. So
last question, bro. You got any fit sneak peeks? Like, what's next with that? What's next with the platform?
any fits
Any
sneak peeks?
you got any something you could tell the people?
Yeah. So Fitz Collection. Fitz Collection is like a quality control album full of designers. And so it's going to be interesting. Rob said it's the first time designers are making clothes not for their own personal brand. So they kind of get another place to kind of express themselves, and they don't have to do that through their brands or through their lens. Um, but yeah, we're just taking a group of the most talented designers here in New York City that we know, and we're all designing under this collection that is just to give people thanks, and to give people appreciation, and give people something that they can wear and create in and move around in and feel comfortable in, a place where they can go and create their own world for themselves. And so I think that, yeah, that's what's next, like creating the Fitz collection. The other thing, Miles, that I want to do, yes sir, tap into the visions are sold out. Visions are sold out,
They
by the
can't
way.
get them.
No one can get those.
Nobody can get them. Nobody can get them, and now I got the OG pair, so I'm really
Yes
rocking
sir.
them. I'm
Yes
really,
sir.
but
The other thing is, I just started a new vertical in our business, and so it's basically called Podcast Dunks. It's a subsection of Fits, and basically what I realized is episodes like this. This is a hour-long episode, and people are gonna tune into this if they feel like it. But how else can we score? And you score by not only shooting the three, which is what this is, but you also score in the mid range. You also score by dunking. And so what we're doing is we're taking whoever has a podcast, whoever wants to spread that message to a larger amount of people, whoever has been doing that this whole time, but they've been so focused on the 3-point shot that they haven't been able to necessarily put out that short form content, those reels or those dunks that can give people a snackable version of their podcast. I'm reaching out to them, and I'm trying to edit podcasts for them. And so the next little vertical for us is like finding, people that have interesting stories and that have been telling their interesting stories for a long time, and kind of giving them a place where they can have editors, they can have people that are distributing their content for a more snackable version of it, so that people can listen to it. So been super excited about that. We just got our first client. And so like, I just want to I'm going to start training high school kids to edit videos, and then just keep getting more clients and keep giving them good work that they can use to spread their message. So that's another thing.
sounds like a school, bro. That sounds
Yes,
like a
sir.
school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you for coming on the show, Miles. Appreciate you,
Absolutely.
man. And so, I'm going to see you in the crib soon.
Bro. I'm always here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see who else is in here. Anyone else want to pop in? Okay. Wow. This was an amazing episode. Episode 5 of Game of Power. Man, I wanted to say that I really appreciate all of you for tuning in. I appreciate the different people that have been on the show so much. I wanted to talk about one thing. Within this show, the only thing that every single person has talked about that's been a constant is consistency. And when you break down that word, it's a little intimidating, because even me, I never thought of myself as the most consistent person or the most disciplined person to be consistent, and that's really the only thing that can take you from 0 to 1. And so when it comes down to consistency, I think we need to unpack that. And I want to learn a little bit more about how to stay consistent, what to tell yourself when you're down, how to keep going on those different days. And so I think the other part about consistency is everything doesn't need to be so perfect. The more consistent you are, the more motivated you'll be, and the better you'll get at whatever you're doing. So you'll have more ideas. And so I think, whether you want to go to the gym or whether you want to start a company. When we started Fits, I thought the idea was okay. I thought it was pretty good. Like when I first started, I thought the idea was pretty good. But like then it was like we presented to this class we presented to fashion class our idea, and people were like, that sounds like Instagram, or that, I don't really know. People were kind of digging into us, and everything in the beginning doesn't have to be so revolutionary, but once you start and once you start being consistent, then you can kind of get in there and start digging into some of the problems. Now you have some new ideas on how you can impact other people. And so consistency isn't only important because it takes you from your original idea to making that happen. It also gives you new ideas within that process. And so if you do just start anything that you want to do and be consistent, the more consistent you get, the more better you'll get at certain things, the more you'll embrace the process over the destination, the more you'll be happy with what you're doing, and you'll redefine success. I think that, it really is the catalyst to getting to where you want to go. And so whether you want to make music, whether you want to make a business, whether you want to make fashion, just be consistent in that grind and keep getting better, keep sharpening that left hand. And eventually you will get to where you want to go, but you just can't quit. You got to just keep going and keep being consistent. So, that was it. That's episode 5, make ideas, inventions. Most definitely make ideas, inventions. That's my tagline. It's funny. I was sitting there and I said to Miles, I was like, I hate the word idea. And I hate the word idea because they're so easy to come by. We all get ideas. Oh, I could say, I have an idea to make a show, or I have an idea to write a book. And I was like, man, like that word idea is worthless. And it also is preventing me from moving forward. And so, like, turning that idea to an invention is something that I live by at this point, because we don't often think about the word invention. Invention is something that it's like, oh, back in the day they invented airplanes, or they invented the printing press, or they invented all of these different things, and you often think like, yo, whatever we're doing now, like, where are the inventors? And the truth of the matter is the inventors are you. The inventors are the creators. They're people that are making videos. The inventors are entrepreneurs, the people that are making businesses that are helping people. And so they're the fashion designers, they're the musicians. These are the modern day inventors. And so, if you do have an idea to do something, you have to go and make that idea an invention. And that's what make ideas inventions means. It's something that I'm going to personally live by for the rest of my life. And I hope that, every single day I can invent and invent and invent. And one day when I won't be on the earth to be able to do that anymore, I'll have that can live on forever. So thank you all for tuning in to episode 5 of Game of Power. I'm going to see y'all next week. Good night.